himself in light.
Norma, you were in on the beginning of Meals on Wheels with the church, is that right?
Yes, in the 70s, I started delivering when I was working at nursery school right
I'm
after.
wrong, but didn't this church introduce Meals on Wheels to
As
get?
far as I know, they did.
Uh-huh.
But Helen Weber was with me, was one of the first ones that delivered, I know.
Okay. And how many years has that been, would you say?
I'd say 72, 73,
30 years. 30, nearly 40 years. And that's a lot of meals.
Yes, it is.
Well, have you seen a lot of people in a lot of different situations?
And it was wonderful for the people. Some of the people that we delivered to would not see anyone else, maybe for several days, except the people that delivered the meals to them. And they would want to tell you where they were hurting. They want to know something about what you had been doing. It was a blessing to them to be able to have someone come in every day. 5 days a week. We delivered 5 days a week.
And that's still going on.
It's still going on.
What kind of rewards do you get out of?
It just made me feel good to know that I could help somebody that was lonely, that lived by themselves, and maybe didn't have family that lived around Gallatin. And you really felt like you had done something at the end of the day.
You feel like it's a good mission of the church?
Oh, yes, I do. And I think our church has done a marvelous job of it.
How about, did you teach children in Sunday school here?
Yes.
And are some of them now grown with children of their own?
Oh, sure.
Well,
Like
who-
Richard Arendelle
Tell it, who?
and Eric Smith and Christy Boland was one of my students.
How long have you been a member of First Presbyterian Church?
I think I joined the church about 1962 or 3.
62 or 3, that is 50 years ago. You realize that?
I don't think in those terms.
Good, neither do I. You've been a part of this church your entire life.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
my life, my mother's life.
Yes. And by the time you were up in your 20s, you were in the bulldozer operator business. What were you
Yes.
doing?
Yeah. No, I was over 16.
You were 16. And what were you doing in the bulldozer in Sumner County?
I was digging ponds all over this county.
And at one point, they decided that one way to add some space to church was to put a basement underneath the
Yeah, it
sanctuary.
needed more room and a bigger room, so they decided to dig out the basement under the church.
What was your part in that?
My part was they called me. My dad was helping with the work, and they called me in to lower the street, lower Foster Street, and the water department came over, and the light department, and everybody came over, and they said, "Oh, it's nothing bad, just go to work." Well, it didn't take but a few licks, and I broke the water main. And so the water shot everywhere. And then they had to repair the water lines and all.
And then you dug it all out.
They dug out the basement, yes. And they put the post in, but they put the concrete block in sideways, which has no strength to speak of. And when they all stood up real quick at the same time,
And the
it
next
crushed,
morning,
and the floor fell about 3 to 4 inches, most maximum. And everybody cleared the church like they thought it was going to fall in. And they surveyed the problem, and they decided there wasn't anything wrong, let's go back to church, but nobody went back to church.
till next Sunday.
Huh?
Till the next Sunday.
Yeah, till the next Sunday. Been here a long time.
That's right, and you're here every Sunday. What would it mean if you couldn't come to this church?
If I did come,
I mean, if you couldn't come.
couldn't come. Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't plan not to be able to move.
All right.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Now, how long have you been coming to our church now?
Probably about a year consistently, but off and on about 3 years.
And you've been coming to first service, but you've also been coming to youth group. Were you in any of the Girl Scout troops here, or was your brother?
My brother was in Cub Scouts from Tigers, and then he is now Boy Scout, currently working on his Eagle, which is the highest rank.
Through our church here.
Yes.
Great. And I just wanted to ask you, what is it about youth group? Why do you come?
Because it's a group of small collective people that I really enjoy spending time with.
Well, we certainly love having you. You're a wonderful part of our church. Thanks, Amanda.
As I remember, you told me you had been members of quite a number of churches before you came here. About how many?
Oh, gosh. Probably 4 or 5 as we moved
Yes.
due to work.
Yes.
Well, and growing up.
Yeah, and as I remember, you met at what
Augustana
university?
College.
Augustana
In a choir.
In the choir, and you've been doing that ever since.
Ever since.
And in fact, you made a career out of it, Carol.
Well, I did, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm retired now.
You came here, and tell me how you got connected with the church.
We had been looking at several churches that came in, and in the 2 Sundays that we visited, 2 different couples actually talked to us. And so we heard from them, and we also heard from Kyle in the sermon, and looked around. It had a nice organ in the front, had a choir. It sort of spoke to all of us.
I think that day the choir processed. We were very impressed that they did that. So to hear the organ and hear a choir and have a traditional service and great preaching and friendly people, and it was close to where we lived, it just...
But what else have you done in the church?
Well, we did start a new Sunday school class called Dialogos.
And what do you do in Dialogos?
We dialogue.
Uh-huh. So, what are the rewards you get out of that?
Well, for me, whenever another human being opens their soul to me, I'm drawn to them, and I feel let in to their lives. I'm honored, I'm blessed to be let in like that. And hopefully the group grows closer and closer and grows in love with each other.
And there's an old saying that says, if you share troubles, they're halved. If you share joys, they're doubled. And that's what I've found to be the case for me.
Michael, you've told me that you had a number of responsibilities in churches over the years. What did you do in other churches before you came here?
I have been a member of the Board of Deacons. I've been an elder. I've been a trustee. I've been a Sunday school teacher. I've been the treasurer of a church. I've led a youth group. That's about it.
And then you came here, what, a couple of years ago?
I've been here now almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And probably expected to be doing that here. And what happened?
September, I fell and blew out my right hip.
And what happened after that?
I spent about 4 months, 3 months or 4 months in a hospital or a nursing home, and had 8 surgeries and lost almost 100 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
And but now I'm great.
And you're clerk of the session, as I understand.
Yes, sir. Happily the clerk of the session.
And but during that time, what was your relationship to the church?
I was visited many times by the minister Kyle Gott, and that was a wonderful thing because I got to know him as a person as well as a pastor, which is an important thing. And I also got to meet several deacons that came to visit me, and I got lots of cards from various members of the church, which was really kind of surprising. But that was also great. It made me feel better.
Uh-huh. And so the church ministered to you instead of you ministering to the church, maybe.
I think that's correct. I think the best thing that ever happened to me was the day that Kyle came to see me, and when I was at the Centennial Hospital in Nashville, and I was really feeling sorry for myself. And he told me it was okay if I'd shout at the Lord, because I needed something. And I remember when he left, I had the nurse shut the door, and I did a few loud shouts. And after that, I haven't had a down day since. And I think that's just a wonderful experience.
Grace and peace. Grace and peace. Grace and peace to you from God.